Why would a club pay over $200 million for just one player? What makes football transfers so outrageously expensive? It's not just the talent and skill, it's a cocktail of competition, money, and hidden factors you've probably never thought about. Stick around because what's happening behind the scenes of these deals is even more shocking than the price tags. Today, we're breaking down why football transfers are so expensive. Whether you're new to football or a die-hard fan, this is a story of money, power, and strategy you don't want to miss. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more similar videos. The evolution of transfer fees. To understand why transfers are so expensive, we have to look back. The first football transfer fee was paid in 1893 when the Scottish player Willie Groves moved from West Bromwich Albion to Aston Villa for just £100. That's less than the cost of a decent pair of football boots today. Fast forward to 2021 and Jack Grealish transfer to Manchester City cost a staggering £100 million. So what has changed in these 130 years? The answer lies in the growth of football as a business. In the early 20th century, clubs were local organizations. Today, they're global brands. Manchester United, Real Madrid, and PSG, they don't just sell tickets, they sell TV rights, jerseys, and sponsorships. A single star player can generate hundreds of millions in revenue, and making their transfer fee seem like a bargain in the grand scheme of things. The Neymar effect. One transfer in particular sent shockwaves through football and set the tone for today's astronomical fees. Neymar moves from Barcelona to PSG in 2017. The transfer fee, a jaw-dropping €222 million, making Neymar the most expensive player in the history of football. But here's the thing, Neymar wasn't just a footballer, he was a global icon. PSG didn't just buy the player, they bought a brand. Neymar's transfer helped PSG grow its global fan base, sign lucrative sponsorship deals, and establish itself as a football superpower. But there's more to the story. Neymar's transfer introduced a psychological shift in the market. Clubs realized that if PSG could spend over €200 million, they could demand higher fees for their own players. It's called the Neymar effect, and it's one of the reasons why we see fees skyrocketing today. Even mid-tier players cost tens of millions of dollars now. Supply and demand, the economics of transfers. At its core, the football transfer market is driven by basic economics, supply and demand. There's a limited supply of truly elite players, but the demand for them is through the roof. Take Erling Haaland for example. In 2022, Haaland joined Manchester City for a reported €60 million, an absolute steal given his talent. Why? Because his release clause was set years earlier. Before his breakout performances in Champions League, had City negotiated his fee without that clause, they might have paid over €150 million. Clubs like Real Madrid and Chelsea were willing to pay huge sums because they know the value of a world-class player can outweigh the cost. A prolific striker or a game-changing midfielder can win trophies, attract fans, and boost revenues in ways no other investment can. Agent power and negotiations. Another reason for high transfer fees is agents. Football agents, they don't just negotiate salaries, they negotiate everything from transfer fees to bonuses. Super agents like Jorge Mendes and the late Mino Raiola have become kingmakers in football. Take Paul Pogba's move from Juventus to Manchester United in 2016. The transfer cost Manchester United £89 million. But here's the kicker. Pogba's agent, Mino Raiola, reportedly earned over €20 million in commission alone. That's right, agents often take a massive cut, inflating the overall cost of the transfers. And here's a hidden fact. Agents sometimes could work both sides of the deal, representing the player while also advising the buying club. It's a controversial practice, but it shows just how much power agents wield in modern football. Release clauses and buyouts. Release clauses are another factor driving up the transfer cost. In some leagues, like Spanish La Liga, release clauses are mandatory. This means a player can leave the club if another club meets the clause, no matter how astronomical it is. For example, Lionel Messi's release clause at Barcelona was set at €700 million, a figure so high it was practically designed to keep him at the club forever. But Even seemingly reasonable release clauses can cause chaos. Antoine Griezmann's move from Atletico Madrid to Barcelona in 2019 triggered legal disputes because Barcelona allegedly negotiated with Griezmann before activating his $120 million release clause. Release clauses are a double-edged sword. They give players freedom but often lead to inflated fees when clubs are desperate to secure a signing. TV rights and sponsorship money. Football clubs today aren't just competing on the pitch, they're competing for global attention. TV right deals and sponsorships are also a huge part of that equation. Take Premier League, for example, which sold its TV right for a record £5 billion in 2015. A huge chunk of that money goes to the clubs, who then reinvest in their players. The logic is simple. Better players attract more viewers, which leads to bigger TV deals. Sponsorships work the same way. When Cristiano Ronaldo returned to Manchester United in 2021, the club's shirt sponsor, TeamViewer, saw a massive spike in their visibility. Sponsors know that signing a superstar can directly impact their brand, which is why clubs are willing to spend astronomical sums to secure big names. Hidden costs. When we talk about expensive transfers, we often focus on the fee itself, but what about the hidden cost? The player wages, signing bonuses, and performance incentives that can add millions to overall expense. Take Kylian Mbappe's contract extension with PSG in 2022, for example. Reports suggest that he earns €1 million per week, plus a signing bonus of €100 million. That's on top of the transfer fee PSG originally paid to secure him from Monaco. These hidden costs mean that the true expense of signing a player is often far greater than what's being reported in the headlines. Youth development and the fear of missing out. One lesser-known reason for high transfer fees is the fear of missing out on the next big star. Clubs are investing more in scouting and signing young players, hoping to find the next Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi before they become unaffordable. But this comes with its own risk. In 2018, Real Madrid signed the Brazilian teenager Vinicius Jr. for €45 million, a massive sum for a 17-year-old. Luckily for Madrid, Vinicius has lived up to the hype, but not every young player justifies their price tag, leading to inflated fees across the board. The role of financial fair play. Finally, we can't ignore the role of financial fair play. Introduced by UEFA to prevent clubs from overspending, FFP has unintentionally contributed to rising transfer fees. Here's why. Instead of spending recklessly across multiple players, clubs focus their resources on few big signings to comply with FFP regulations. This has created a market where top players become even more valuable, driving up their prices. But here's the fun fact. PSG and Manchester City have both faced FFP investigations due to their lavish spending. But clever accounting and sponsorship deals have helped them stay within the rules. It's a game of strategy as much as finance. Conclusion. So why are football transfers so expensive? It's the perfect storm of factors: competitions between the clubs, the power of agents, lease clauses, and the global reach in football. Add the hidden costs like wages and bonuses, and it's easy to see why prices keep climbing. But it's not just about money, it's about ambition, it's about strategy and the desire to win at all cost. Whether you're a fan of these mega deals or think they've gone just too far, one thing's for sure: football transfers will never stop surprising us. If you have enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're curious about more fascinating football topics, check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.